What's up, guys? Dirty Mike with Dirty Mike Crypto back with another entry in my Dirty Dozen interview series. Tonight, we have a group that I have been looking forward to getting together with for a long, long time for this. I got the DeFi Kings with us tonight. How you guys doing?
We're great, man. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I'm so glad to have you. You know, there's been a lot of hype around you guys. I've been seeing a lot of stuff all over. I've been seeing you guys all over, doing different AMAs. And I definitely want to give you guys this showcase here to, let some people know about you. Uh, Before we get started, I'll give you a chance to actually explain DeFi Kings. Normally, I just kind of get right into the questions, but I want to give you guys a chance to actually, briefly, talk about the project before we get started with questions with it, if that's cool.
Absolutely.
All
Chris, you
right.
wanna you wanna start it off? I'll give you the spotlight, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, DeFi Kings is a kind of a work in progress, and we've been we've been really working on this for several months because we want to launch something that's really different out in the DeFi space. We call it DeFi Kings for a reason. We came up with that name because we want to be, the best out there, right? We want to create something where it's just different than everything else. Anybody who's been around crypto or specifically in rewards projects and utility projects and whatever it may be understands that 99% of them that come out are they're kind of a fad. They make it for a short period of time and then they go away. And so what we're calling ourselves is a movement, and that movement is going to entail being a hybrid between a rewards project and a utility project. And right off launch, we've got 13% rewards in your choice of BUSD, ADA, XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and then we've got our King's Ransom that you can stake, and basically we call it a 14-day, payday, kind of like what you'd get with a job. And so you stake your tokens, and on top of the 13% that you get 2% off of buys and 5% off of sells goes into that
Nice.
staking pool. And we do it a little bit different, where a lot of projects where you go stake, you lose whatever else they offer you just by holding. Well, you get to keep your tokens in your wallet so that the contract continues to pay you your 13% rewards on top of the staking. But beyond that, we've got utilities that are going to be coming out shortly after launch. We've announced a couple of them already. One of them is a P2P lending platform. The other is an anonymous bridge, and we've got three more that are going to be coming out. Within probably I would say uh, maybe 8 to 10 weeks from launch. And so this is a long term holders project. We've designed it in a way where yes, the value of the token is going to go up over time, and people are going to make their money several different ways. But these utilities not only add value to the token itself, they pay into the staking pool. And so everything we do utility wise is going to come out and generate revenue for the project. And that in turn is going to return that revenue to the staking pool. And
That's
so
awesome.
we're really excited about it because it's a project where it's not going to be one of these ones that comes out, in 2 weeks. It does great volume, pumps the price a little bit, and then everybody sells and goes to the next one. This is something we're creating an ecosystem that basically we have no plans on stopping development, and so we're going to continue to come up with ideas. We're going to use our community to toss ideas around to us because
That's good.
sometimes you get the best ideas from people that are just out in the community versus the team that's actually working on the project.
Yeah,
So
you're
we're
right. You're
pretty pumped
you're
about it.
exactly right with that. Well, you've led me into my first question, and being that you are a rewards token, generally you hit the nail on the head. You got the launch, you got the hype, everyone's loving the reflections that come in, and then all of a sudden it kind of starts to die out, and then kind of people move on to the next project. What are you guys doing specifically to fix that problem with DeFi Kings to be different?
Yeah, honestly, everything we're doing comes down to strategy. Everything in development, everything in our pre-sale campaign, marketing campaign, gearing up to pre-sale, launch, utilities that are coming out. It's all done. It's all being done strategically in a way that we believe is going to benefit the project. And the way that we're really trying to combat that whole rewards pump and dump thing is by adding value to the token at specific times, in, I guess, in the overall lifespan of the project, you could say. So, we have several different utilities that we're going to release, and they're going to be released at strategically placed times, to incentivize people to hold and wait for what's next. So rather than going, okay, boom, we've got, 5 utilities we're going to tell you about, and we're going to launch them all at the same time. That's not necessarily going to be the case. We will share the utilities that are in development and things like that, and they may be done and ready to roll, but we're not going to launch 5 of them at one time. We're going to
Right.
launch them at strategically placed times where, we can say, okay, we're starting to see, something with the trading volume or the price or the hype or whatever it may be, and go, boom, this is the perfect time to drop this utility. And then we continue to go down that path, and we release the rest of them at strategically placed times, all
Right.
while
Yeah.
being in the background looking at, what are the next things we're going to do. I mean, Mike and we're already planning out the utilities that are going to drop in the next year.
Good.
This is
Right.
not something where we're going, okay, boom, we've got, you know, even in our white paper and our roadmap, we're not telling everybody already what is on the roadmap, or what's, the white paper doesn't show everything, because we want to be able to continue to come out with these things over time and incentivize people to stick around and wait and see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of took that approach over at Wanker. Half the shit that we're developing or have developed isn't even on the white paper or roadmap. So it's like, man,
Right.
you're going to need
Right.
you're going to need a V2 of the roadmap soon if you keep coming up with all these ideas.
Well, see, and that's the thing with us is, with our developer, we're constantly going to him and saying, hey, got another idea, got
Yeah.
another idea. So basically, we have to, as we create utilities, we have to create small contracts that, of course, pay back to our stakers.
Right.
And so it's the basic concept of a business. Basically, you make your investment, and then we will pay you dividends to just hold the token. And so, we are short term in the sense that, with volume at launch in the first few weeks, rewards are going to be massive. But in the same sense, we're going to drop that first utility, and then we don't necessarily have to worry so much about that token volume. And I mean, that's huge in itself, and it provides that security for investors. And it's very needed in the space, and to really treat things as a business. Chris, this is what he does, as far as building businesses.
Yeah.
And when you can do that and incentivize these holders by saying, look, you guys just hold the token and we'll keep paying you. And, the fact that we can use our utilities and market those to other projects and other partners and collaborations that we have will be huge.
Let me ask you guys. You may or may not know this yet, whether you're going to do this or not. Do you plan on locking up your LP right away, instantly, or do you feel that there is sometimes a benefit in leaving it open for maybe a couple days just to make sure that there are no issues? Because you'll get people arguing this both ways. You'll get the investors who say, you got to lock it up right away. But then, sometimes you do, and then an issue, pops up, and then, you see all these migrations going on. So how do you guys feel about that?
Right. I mean, my opinion, of course, this is me speaking here. So my opinion is let's check progress, check the contract. Let's make sure things are firing on all cylinders before we lock that up.
Yeah.
But then the other side of me as an investor says, look, we need to lock that up as soon as possible for investor security. So yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword to me. But it's something that we're definitely going to discuss. We will have 2 audits prior to launch.
Great.
So we will be, fully audited. We want to make sure that everything is going to fire on all cylinders, and then at that point, I think that will instill some confidence to know, okay, yeah, we can lock that up and feel safe in doing so.
Good. Who are you getting your audits with?
One is going to be done with RC, which is our contract team, our contract dev, and then the next is going to be, I think it's Interfi, isn't it, Chris? Is that
Yeah.
what we're thinking?
Yeah, it's going to be Interfi for the next one.
Yeah, I got mine done.
Yeah.
I got Wankers done with Interfi as well, and they got
Yeah.
it back, fairly quickly, and it was a pretty seamless. So yeah, they're definitely a good one to do. So, next question I kind of wanted to ask you is a little off topic of your token, but I feel like it's pretty important in this space. Obviously, in the on the Binance Smart Chain, there's a lot of scam projects. There's a lot of rug pulls. What do you guys think can be done to kind of clean it up? I know it's kind of hard because there's really no governing body that can really do it, but what do you guys think are some of the steps that need to be done to kind of clean up the space a little bit?
First and foremost, a lot of the policing should be done by legitimate projects.
Yes.
Projects like ourselves and Wanker, some of the others that are out there in the space. I think if we can do some of the policing ourselves and protect our investors, and when we see something,
Yeah.
It's okay to announce it in chat. That's one thing we differ from a lot of projects that don't want to announce another project or token
Yeah.
in this space. Our partnerships, we feel confident as long as we're not launching on the same day, of course, we
Right.
want that money. But we are free about posting in our chat. And when we have a rug or we have something that's absolutely off the chain, just wrong, yeah, we're gonna out that. We're gonna
Good.
out that to our community, and then we want to share that with everybody. So, you'll have us in your inbox saying, hey, these guys are rugging, these guys just pulled some bullshit. And I think if we police ourselves, it would go a long way in this space instead of just accepting defeat and walking away. We've all had it happen. We've all had the full rug job, the slow rug,
The
the
slow rug.
scam. Yeah,
There's nothing
the old
worse than
slow rug.
there's nothing worse than a slow rug. Oh my god! If you're gonna
It's
do
like
it, just do it. Just come
yeah,
on. Don't
it's
give
like
me hope.
it is. It's
Ugh,
like cancer, man. It really is, and it's disgusting, man, to us.
it is.
That's one reason that we said, you know what, let's jump in this space and let's provide the investors 100% security and knowing that we're going to be here. We're not going to run with your money.
Yeah.
It to us it's huge. I mean, we can throw our money everywhere, but in essence, if you invest in yourself, you can at least have that security and knowing what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Do you think that some of the responsibility should lie on the launch pads to properly vet these projects a little bit better? Because, I mean, Pink Sale will just, take your money, KYC or whatever, give you your badge, and, you're on your way. Do whatever the hell you want. But then you have, some of these other launch pads that go through a little bit more strict of a vetting process to you can't always ensure what's going to happen, but 99% sure somebody's not going to go through all that hassle and vetting to end up rug pulling. So do you think that some of that responsibility should be on launch pads to properly vet things better?
I was actually going to make that as one of my comments to your question,
Really?
where I believe that these launch pads are enabling
Mm.
scammers
Yep.
in the policies that they have. I mean, the fact that there's launch pads out there that will even put a pre-sale up for people who have basically thrown some crappy ass contract together and refuse to KYC at minimum. They're, to me, they're just as responsible as the scammers themselves.
Absolutely.
And
For sure.
we're in the DeFi space, and we understand the benefits of that. But at the same time, you know what's happening, and especially in BSC, you have almost enabled the scammers to come out and do what they're going to do. And unfortunately, not everybody in crypto that are investors or holders of tokens or day traders or whatever you may want to call them, they're not savvy enough to figure that stuff out. Where for me personally, I have very strict rules whenever, for myself, whenever I go invest in something. And I'll tell you what, if I find one hint of a possibility of a scam, I'm not investing in it,
Yeah.
regardless of whether or not it could be a legitimate project or not, because we all know the vast percentage of projects coming out on, especially BSC, every single day are either scams or they're done by people who don't know what the hell they're doing.
Well,
So
yeah, that
regardless of scam,
that's exactly right. And I'm friends with the guys over at DGEM. They have a premium launch pad, and they offer pre-launch services, post-launch services, building contracts, doing your math, all that kind of stuff. And he tells me all the time, like 80% of rug pulls, they're not intentional. Now obviously some of them are that they just want to scam money, but a lot of times what happens is something goes wrong somewhere along the way, and it's easier for them to just walk away from it than to actually own up to it and do what it takes to actually correct the situation.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, I agree. And the launch pads, we were KYC'd over at RC, and it was very thorough. I mean, you can't get in and pink sale, for instance, it's like we take all comers, man. Just send us a document. We don't care what it is. We're not going to verify. It
Yeah.
is what it is, and run your token and good luck, guys. That kind of pat on the back bullshit, man. And we really felt like we were thoroughly vetted at RC, man, and it instills confidence to know that the launch pads are going to take responsibility for what's launching on their pad. And so, yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that, with the sentiment that the launchpad should be responsible for this, and it should be a real thorough vetting of these projects, man, because there's so many every day. And at some point, if the communities aren't going to police it, and other projects aren't going to police it, and the launchpads aren't going to police it, that's where we're at. That's what's happened.
Yeah. Well, then you know what? That'll actually pivot into my next question. Do you think regulation is good for crypto, and do you think it's even possible to regulate DeFi?
Come up with the good ones, Mike. That's one that's debatable. I mean, to me, I don't think regulation would be good in a sense, but then the other side of me also says that if in our case, if the U.S. government or whatever starts to regulate, there is a sense of security, and maybe that increases the amount of people that get into crypto, which increases
Right.
our holdings, and so I don't know. One side of me says, don't involve the government. It's never pretty when the
No.
government gets involved. So, I do like the fact that DeFi is still somewhat unregulated, and people can dream and they can get in and put a couple BNB in, make some good money and that kind of thing. But I mean, I don't know what Chris's thoughts are. I'm kind of 50-50 on it, but
I think a lot of people
the
are.
old school in me says no, don't involve the government. Just do it and handle your business. And if the government gets involved, dude, it's never a pretty sight.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. I mean, in my experience, the private sector is always better at handling just about anything better than the government.
Yeah.
And I think that in crypto, we need to, there has to be some sort of movement that the the private portion of that sector takes responsibility for, and kind of makes it a scam free space, versus bringing the government in, because my personal opinion is you bring the government in and they bring all their shitty ass regulations and
Yep.
their people with their handouts and all of their crap that they do. They just mess everything up. I mean, there's so many examples of it, and I don't want to get into politics, but at the end of the day, I think that as a community, we can, as Mike said, we can police that better. It's just it almost opens the door for some sort of like private regulatory portion of the crypto space to come out and go, okay, well, if you're not a part of this, then you're not legit or something, and kind of in a sense of like different associations and things like that in regular business and whatnot. But maybe not going that far because a lot of them don't know what the hell they're doing either, but something that can instill confidence and reduce the number of scams. But yeah, the I would be I would be against government,
Okay.
coming in and trying to work their freaking next entity out and how they're going to run this.
Right, right. Now you mentioned something about mass adoption, that it could possibly help the mass adoption of crypto, which obviously has not happened yet. So if you remember back to the early days, I assume we're all kind of around the same age. I'm 41. Um, I remember in the early days of the internet, it came out in the mid 90s, and, you had that slow ass America Online with the dial tone. And then, early 2000s started to get a little bit better, but, still not everybody was on it. But then the invention of the smartphone happened, and the smartphone put the internet in everyone's hands. And that was the catalyst that brought internet from, maybe 25-30% of people, using it, to pretty much everybody using it. What do you think that event could be with crypto to have that moment?
It could be huge. I mean, honestly, it could be huge, Mike. Right now, I could see it going to 25-30% of the population actually wanting to get involved. Somewhere between 20-25%. And and I know, oh, that would be huge. It would be huge for everything that we hold and everything that we do.
Right.
And so, yeah, honestly, it's the fear factor. Most folks, most of my family in general, when you mention crypto, it's Ponzi schemes, it's a
Yeah.
scam.
My mom's the
Don't
same
do it.
way. My mom does the same shit with me. She calls me every day. You're not involved in that crypto, are you? People are losing their shirts. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, I've got an uncle that's that way, man. Now he is recently getting involved, and so I'm helping him with a lot of things, and I know Chris does as well. Chris spends hours on teaching people how to go to Pancake Swap, how to get your BNB from Crypto.com, get it where you need it, that kind of thing. So, but the more that we can do that, and that's one thing about our token is, we're going to have the videos, the how-to videos. We're going to have so many different avenues for people. You can watch the video. We are also going to have documents on there. And it's basically step-by-step procedure with all of our utilities, with the simple side of things. We also have Ember. So it's
yes,
two
yes,
click and
yes.
you
Yeah, we
done.
have we have I was just
And
going to bring them up to you. We have Ember as
yeah,
well, and we're going to be using
yeah.
them
Why?
on a
It's unreal, man. I mean, it really is on so many levels to be able to offer that to our
it's
people as they
great.
come in. And that's one thing. I mean, I can reach out to family now and say, look, I found an easy way for you to purchase.
Right.
Get on, click here, boom, you're done. All I have to do is set them up a wallet,
Yeah,
basically.
well,
So yeah,
in a couple weeks you won't even really have to. When they
yeah,
really when they go
right.
off their beta version, you'll be able to purchase right with fiat.
Yeah, yeah, that's what Ben was telling me, man. And he's dropped some things in chat with us, and it's amazing what they're doing, man, and the way that they're offering their and marketing their service is phenomenal. It was a no brainer, man. The moment we spoke to
Yep.
Ben, it was like, oh yeah, it's done, it's done.
Same here.
So
We got it
and
done instantly too. Yeah, it's great. They're actually going to be powering our utility, Wanker Works, and it's basically going to be a like a Fiverr style hiring board for crypto professionals. So if you're a graphic designer, a website developer, a web designer, let's say an influencer, a mod, you want to get into groups, you list your services on there, and coins and tokens will be able to it's free to list on it. Coins and tokens will be able to shop for your services, and with Ember they're going to be able to hook it up to where people can either pay in fiat or crypto, but the service provider will be able to get paid in whatever form they want, like 9,000 different coins. It can convert it from fiat to Doge if you wanted. You could get the Defi Kings if you want it, and if they pay on, let's say with Defi Kings, you can get it to cash if you want. So fiat. So it's amazing what they're doing for sure. And
oh,
I think that's what's really going to make it have a mass adoption, is making it easier. I remember a couple months
it is.
back I was trying to make a video of explaining how step by step to get money from Coinbase to actually getting it on the pancake swap to purchasing your thing. And it was like 20 steps long. It was ridiculous. I looked at the list and I was like, this is absolutely insane. I know what I'm doing and it's still insane looking at it. And then if you mess up anywhere along the way, you lose your money. It's like,
well, it's putting the easy button out there, right? And
yeah,
you're giving people an easy way to get into something that they don't necessarily understand. I mean, it's almost like it's almost like a service that financial advisors do, right? Not that I really love, the stock market and
yeah, I
financial
don't love it very
advisors
much
and
right
all of
now. It's been
that.
killing me.
But, at the end of the day, I think the reason why more people are in the stock market is because it's more of an accepted investment platform, or outside of the stock market. There's other things as well, but these financial advisors are basically the easy button. You send them money, they help you figure out where to put it, and they put it where it needs to go. And I think the biggest difference between that and crypto right now is, one, we don't have an easy button, and number
No,
two, there's so many scams in the space, and it's much higher risk. But if we can kind of get to the point where we have that easy button and we have the confidence in, not having such risk involved in it, it becomes something that's beneficial, and I think more people will come into. But we got to get it there, really, we do, to
yeah.
bump those percentages up.
I'm surprised there's not more crypto financial advisors out there. I mean, I know there are some, but I mean, I'm surprised that market really hasn't just completely boomed yet. Because I mean, that is a good way to get people who have no idea what the hell they're doing here. I'll give you the cash for it. You set up my wallet. You buy my tokens according to what risk level I want to take, and you manage my portfolio. I'm surprised there's not a whole lot more of that being advertised around.
I could tell you why. It's because most financial advisors hate crypto,
But
and
yeah,
so you'd have to get a whole new breed of
well,
financial
that
advisors
that's
that
what I'm
buy
saying.
into
Financial
crypto.
advisors that just specialize in crypto.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There's something for us right there. There you go.
I'm too old for
Yeah.
that shit, man. I'm
Yeah.
not doing that.
All right. We've done some pretty heavy shit so far. So let's lighten it up here a little bit. Well, I don't know how about death is lightening up, but I'm from Philly, so Italian sausage and meatballs and cheesesteaks literally are flowing through my veins. That's why I have high cholesterol right now, and I can't eat any of that shit. So I always like asking people, what would you guys pick as your last meal if you had to choose? Like, what is that go-to last meal that you would choose?
Mike, you want to go
Man,
first?
oh, sure, man. I mean, where do I start? I can eat, brother.
You get
I
one
mean,
choice. You get your one last meal. They say this is your last meal. What are you eating?
man, that's a tough one. I'm a pizza guy, man. So
Yeah.
I like the authentic that Chicago style pizza, man. The
Okay, you
deep
like
dish.
deep dish.
Yeah, I'd probably latch on to the pizza, man. Even though the older I get, dude, it just wreaks havoc on me. I gotta have it once a week at least, man. I'm eating pizza, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's probably me. Go for the authentic Chicago style, and then right off into the sunset. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. What about you, Chris?
Oh man, I'd be mixing it up a little bit. I would probably go with a nice, juicy, tender filet mignon with a big
Ah,
fat ass baked potato that had the fixins on it, fully loaded, and then I'd throw in a couple deep fried freaking shredded beef barbacoa Mexican tacos, and oh gosh, I'd go to town
this is
on that.
it's funny actually. About half of the people that I ask that question to actually end up saying the steak and baked potatoes. We
Well, I'm
like
pretty
the
particular on my steak. It's only fillets for me.
yeah
I'm kind of a snob.
yeah you like fillets.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, no doubt. I mean, yeah, and I'm the avid outdoorsy type of dude, man. So I almost forgot my morels, man. My spring mushrooms. I mean, those to me, yeah, I could probably just do with the mushrooms and be golden. But yeah,
Oh
you
man.
throw those on a steak, dude, and it's phenomenal. And I've showed him to Chris when I was hunting, and he's like, "Dude, you're going to be on a trip." I'm like, "No, no, no, not those kind of mushrooms."
Yeah, I remember those days, man. Mushrooms are crazy. Jesus. Um, I'm too old for that shit now. That's what I was telling my wife the other day. I was just like, man, I don't think I could do that again. Because I got a couple friends who still mess with it up home. And I'm just like, man, I couldn't do mushrooms again. I'm too old for that shit now. I couldn't mess with that stuff anymore. This shit's too trippy. All right, well, good answers. Good answers. So, how did you guys meet? Like, what was the moment to where DeFi Kings became a reality? Because obviously this shit gets talked about for months beforehand. We should do this, we should do that. Like, what was the moment where you said, you know what, we're doing this?
And we were in several projects together, and I knew Chris in passing and that kind of thing, and then we actually partnered up with a project that we're not even going to talk about.
All right.
But we were in with these guys, and we were basically doing everything for these guys. And it turned out that luckily we found out that these guys were on some bullshit.
Yeah.
And so at that point, I think Chris and I both said, "Look, man, we cannot.
We could do this.
There's no sense. We're doing all the legwork. We're laying the groundwork here. There's no sense of playing with these unsavory dudes and the whole Nigerian print scheme and all this shit. It was just too much, man. And so both of us started talking and started to develop what we wanted to do. We had a lot of things already laid out for us, idea wise. So, we put pen to paper, started talking. Few months went by, man, and we really said, all right, this is what we're going to do. Let's do it. And, from that point, it's just like, about basically once a day, we're either on a phone call or we're on chat constantly, with these ideas, man. And the delay that the market caused for us allowed us to develop. And instead of sitting idly and waiting for things to improve, it's like, we have time. Right now is the time to develop these utilities that are going to pay our holders, man. And to us, that's more valuable for the longevity of the project. But not only that, just in rewards alone, to be able to pay these guys. Everything we do pays our holders. And so it's basically, here's the concept. We go to launch. We have a really good launch. You'll get your initial back with rewards, volume-based rewards. And so when we start to see a slow decline or however it goes, we're armed with these utilities and to be able to initiate them at the drop of a hat. And so once that happens, we can mass market each of our utilities. There will be marketing involved. And as we do that, we're going to grow these utilities. In essence, the volume with the token is going to be, to me, is just a big ass bonus, because you're going to get your rewards from staking and from the utilities. Staking will be ready at launch. So buy your DeFi Kings, stake it, sit back and enjoy the ride, man. That's what it comes down to. Awesome. And it'll be a fun ass ride, man. We aren't guys that drag our feet. We've been in projects where you'll hear broken promises and they'll tell you, oh, it's coming. It's coming. Just wait for it. It's like, oh, the old, I caught you $1, that kind of thing.
I caught you $1.
You just can't ever get to it. So, yeah, we're about business, man. So as we drop each of these and we market these utilities, I think guys are going to really appreciate the 2-week paydays that come with our staking. It's 14 days and it's not locked. Basically, our staking will recognize that you're staking, but we're not taking it out of your wallet. So you're in, you're good to go. And that allows you to get the volume rewards, while you're collecting the staking rewards as well. So everything we do in the future will throw all of those rewards and those dividends right back into that staking platform. So as long as you're staked, dude, you're golden.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm so excited.
Well, and
go ahead.
Yeah, and that's the whole key to this project is, we're wanting to go and create something, like we said, with longevity. And so all the utility we release, that's good for the token value and whatnot for people who are, just holders. But, we're not paying people out of the revenue from the utility just to be a holder. Like we want you to come in and partner with us. And that's why, we're paying the stakers. You're committing to staking for, every 14 days. And it's not like they're locked into it. They can pull out of staking at any time they want.
Is
they're
there
just
any
not going to get the
penalty? Is there
rewards.
any penalty if you pull out of the staking?
There's no penalty for it, but the difference between ours and many others that you see is ours allows you to harvest the reward, or not ours, but most allow you to harvest the rewards.
Mm-hmm.
You can stake, and then the next day you can harvest the rewards.
Right.
Ours is different, where you can't harvest the rewards. The rewards are going to come to you automatically after you've staked for 14 days.
Okay.
If you decide to pull out of staking before 14 days, you forfeited anything that you would have earned. Let's say you pull out 5 days after you stake, whatever you would have earned in that first 5 days, you don't get. And that just gets returned to all the other people in the staking pool. So it's a little bit different, but we're basically trying to create this thing where you stake because you believe in the project, and we believe that we're putting enough things together that if you don't stake, you're a freaking idiot.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean,
Oh, excuse
I
me.
have
My
no
God.
other way to say it.
It's been a long day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great, man. I'm very excited for this, and I'll just say, full disclosure, I'm buying for sure. I'm 100% staking, so yeah, I've been excited for this for a while. So when is launch right now? How far away are we from launch?
Yeah, good question. Mike and I are going to finalize that date tonight. Right now, don't hold don't hold
I'm
us
not.
to it, but
Just give me like a 2-3 week time frame.
pre-sale is likely going to happen on June 13th.
Okay.
And we, at this point, are, we say this a lot, but we're really big on relationship. And so, we've built relationships with people in the space. We've built relationships with people that we personally know. Our private sale, I mean, we blew that sucker out of the water so fast. These guys want to get in, more than they even could in private sale, and so we're very confident that we're going to fill our pre-sale relatively quickly. We know for sure. Well, I mean, you never know for sure, right? But we're very confident that we'll at least hit our soft cap with people that we personally know.
Right.
Just that we've talked to that want to come in, and we know that are going to hold. And
exactly,
so,
exactly. That's exactly what
yeah.
you want. You don't want people who are just looking for like the 2-3x and then just dump right away. You want to have a solid floor that's going to keep that floor for you and keep it growing as new people come in for sure.
Yep.
But also a big part of that, and I didn't really understand this quite as much until I got into token ownership as well. How important pre-sale math is. It is just absolutely enormous. Like, for example, there are some projects that have just awful pre-sale math, and the difference between private sale up to launch. You have these private sailors making 5x just making it to launch. So of course they're going to dump. They got their 5x just making it to launch right there. So is it going to be a very big difference from pre-sale to launch price for you guys?
No, so pre-sale, and with pre-sale, you never know what you're going to get. We're trying to
Right.
combat that, with the people that we're whitelisting and whatnot, and
Mm-hmm.
specifically having a tier 1 and tier 2 whitelist. And our tier 1 are going to be, these are people that some of them are in private sales, some of them are people that have really assisted us with the project, people that we trust to hold. And the good thing about our private sale is Mike and I personally know every single one, like
That's awesome.
as friends. This isn't, we had to go out and try and scrape up bones from people that we don't know just to try and get this thing off the ground. And,
Yeah,
I've seen that. I mean, I've seen projects where they can't even fill 10 B&B in a private sale,
yeah.
Going out and trying to market to the world, where, we filled our private sale with people that we've known long term, and we've told them this is the deal with the project. Of course we don't have control of their tokens when we launch and all of that. They can do whatever they want, but they buy into what we're doing.
Yeah.
But at the pre-sale point, pre-sale to launch, one BNB is 500 million tokens
500 million.
at
Okay.
pre-sale.
All right.
and at launch, one BNB is 475 million. So it's
So that's
not that
close.
big of
Yeah,
a
that's really. So
difference.
the bots will
Yeah,
get that first block, like they always
right.
do. Yeah,
And our taxes are in such where the bots are going to be freaking crushed if they come in and they're trying to do that shit,
yeah,
because not only do we have high buy and sell taxes, which 86% of that goes back to holders, and to buy back and burn, but on top of that, for the first 48 hours, our sell tax is 10% higher, which the additional goes to the staking pool.
okay,
And then the second 48 hours, it's 7.5%
okay,
higher, which also goes to no, I'm sorry, it's 5% higher than normal, which also goes to the staking pool. And so basically the first 96 hours of launch, not only, do we just normally have a higher tax rate just because of the token that we are, and, the money going back to the holders, the first 96 hours is even higher. I mean, the bots, they're going to get freaking wrecked if they come in there, trying to do anything. They're not going to be able to do it, because, yeah, we might see some pump at the front, the first maybe couple hours or so,
yeah,
the bots might win. But after that, and things stabilize a little bit, those bots are not going to be, a big deal. I don't think. Plus, we have a max sell. So,
okay, good, yeah.
a max sell
That's what I was
per
going to ask.
wallet
Yeah,
for, every 24 hours, which is going to help with that as well. And, the whitelist, we know everybody on the whitelist, regardless of their tier 1 or tier 2. That doesn't mean some bots aren't going to make their way into pre-sale, but, we're doing what we can to control that. We've all seen the bots come in on a pre-sale and blow some pre-sale out of the water in 5 seconds, and you're
yeah,
just
it's
like,
ridiculous.
what the hell?
Who the hell makes
You
these
know?
bots? It's fucking ridiculous. Like,
Yeah, it's
it's just
bullshit.
insane to think that there's these just evil bots out there just wrecking our shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, no doubt.
My
No doubt,
God,
man. I mean, yeah. Who makes them? Where can we get them?
right? It's crazy. Yeah, I actually know a couple people who do, and they got shilling bots that like it just
Oh
shill
yeah,
just like everything. It's just crazy what some of these people know how to do. Like shit that we barely
it
even
is.
know is out there. They know how to make, and it's like who does that
Yeah,
shit?
no doubt, no doubt.
Oh man, it's crazy. So why don't you? We got time for like two more questions, and we'll keep it light for the last two since we covered a lot of shit here tonight. So what's a passion of yours outside of crypto that people may not know? Like, what are you guys into doing outside of crypto?
Oh man, I'm doing mine right now. I
Talking to Dirty
took
Mike.
advantage of the what's that?
I said talking to Dirty Mike.
Well, that's
Uh,
definitely one of them. But no, man, I took advantage of the market. The housing market. We just sold our house.
Awesome. Congrats.
We just sold our last two businesses over the last couple of years, and basically got rid of everything we owned, with the exception to personal things, and
Yeah.
bought a big ass freaking huge fifth wheel, and
Yeah.
we're traveling the country for the
That's
next
great.
year, going
That's
all
great.
over the place. I'll
Yeah.
actually be up in good old freaking Madman Mike's neck of the woods here in about a month or so, right after launch. So hopefully we're having a nice little party together.
Yeah. That sounds great. That's awesome. What about you, Mike?
yeah, Chris is living the dream, man. I'm still working, so I'm still the working stiff. I'm putting in my time at work, getting pretty close to retirement, man. And if DeFi Kings goes well, I might speed that up a little bit. But honestly, man, my passion is family and my grandchildren.
Yeah.
My daughter as well, but yeah, the grandchildren are awesome, man. And being able to experience the outdoors with them, take them fishing, and I can't wait to teach the boy how to hunt
Yeah.
and do these kind of things, man. And to me, that's life, man. That's my passion is family, dude. Taking care of family and raising them up right, and just instilling those good values and in the great outdoors, man. That's it for me.
That's awesome, man. That's exciting. Yeah. And you're a new grandpa too, right?
Yep, yep. Had a granddaughter recently, so that's actually number four. I've got two that are with my fiance, and then The other two are actual blood, but yeah, all four are grandchildren, man. 2 boys, 2 girls. So, and the most recent two, it's Waylon and Maddie Mae. So it's like a country duet.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Did the most recent come home from the hospital yet?
Yep, she's
Good.
she's on her way home actually today, man. So I
That's
got that
exciting.
word earlier, and yeah, it's good, man. It was upsetting for mom, but I think she
Yeah.
realized it was for the best and precautionary type thing. So all is well, dude. All is well.
That's awesome. That is awesome. All right, we got time for one more question, and this is a question you've probably never been asked before. I ask every single person on this question, and it's a very disarming question because you've never probably thought about the answer to this before. So, if you had to pick one fictional, literary character, historical figure, who would you fight? Who would you want to meet in the ring and just have it out with?
We're talking a real person, huh?
No, it can.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a real person, but a fictional literary
Fictional. You said
character.
fictional. Okay.
No, fictional literary character, historical figure. I mean, I've heard someone say they wanted to fight Mickey Mouse. So I mean, there was really no wrong answer to this one. So like, who would you just like to meet in the ring and just duke it out with?
Oh man. Who wants to whip Mickey Mouse's ass?
I'm not going to mention. I'm not going to mention his name on here, but yes, there was somebody.
I'd take Pee Wee Herman because that guy's a clown and I could beat the shit out of him.
Nice. Anyway, so. My buddy Jake over at Dive Wallet, he wanted to fight Mike Tyson in his prime just to see if he could land a punch. I'm like, no, man, you weren't going to land a punch.
If I have my choice, I want to take someone I can take.
Smart man.
Yeah. Mine would probably be Hitler, man, just because the dude was a total asshole. You know, what he did to so many people. It's like, yeah, I would love to smoke that dude. No doubt.
All right, good. I got some good answers from you guys. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. Let's show everybody that shirt. Let's show everybody that Defi Kings shirt. Can they get
there? It is in the army green.
Where can people get them?
Army green.
Can they get them in the merch store yet?
Set up. We're getting ready to set up a merch. I think it's something we're working towards, man. We've had so much stuff that's been being developed. I think we'll set up the merch site. We'll get everything on there and online, and people will be able to purchase those and a lot more, man. So looking forward to that. Right now, I've got a small shop that's actually the war room that I'm in right now, that we do some local printing and that kind of thing. So I'm blessed to have a wonderful woman that can print all this for me. So, but the mass side of things, I don't know that she would have time to do. But yeah, we do all our printing right here. It's all done right here in the office at home.
All right. Well, I got it. I got an easy solution for you guys. I do the merch for my token, and I'm with a company called Printify, and it hooks right up through an Etsy store. So just sign up for an Etsy store and link it with Printify. And they have distribution hubs set up like in the UK, in the United States, kind of like all over the world. And basically, you don't have to do any upfront costs. You can they have like 1,000 items already on their catalog, and you basically just add your logo to them and add them to the store. It costs like 20 cents on Etsy to put your listing on the store for probably I think it cost me $30 to get like 180 listings on the store, just all different things. And basically, people just order them and they fulfill the orders for you and send them directly to the customer anywhere. It includes the shipping and everything. It's as easy as can be. It's called Printify.
Now, do they give a kickback so we can add more to our staking pool?
There's always some.
Well, after you get paid the money, obviously you could put your margins in it. So like you could do something to where you could put like a 40-50% margin on it and then take like a portion of that and do like a buyback and burn, or you could do whatever you want with it, and something like that. So yeah, I mean, that's another utility you could do with your merch for sure.
There we go. Sure. I like it. I like to put money into the staking pool.
Yeah, but
that's
check
what
it
it's
out.
About, man.
It's really easy. It's really
Yeah,
easy, so that
will
way
do.
you don't have to buy materials up front and front the costs and all that stuff and worry about it.
Oh yeah.
Printify is as easy as could be, and once they order it, it fulfills it automatically. You don't even have to do anything. It's super easy.
Oh yeah, I've got a box of shirts somewhere that are for Chris. So, we did a lot of the printing here, and then some of our mods, we did some stuff for them. I still have to ship some to Jeremy. So yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool to be able to do it right here because man, I could just
It
grab
is.
shirts and say, hey, print this, and
Yeah.
she's looking at me like the whole wardrobe is now DFK, man. But what are you gonna do?
All right.
What are you
Well,
gonna do?
I'll have to give you my address. I want one of those shirts. I'm an XL, so
Absolutely.
I want one of those shirts as well. But thank you
For
guys.
sure.
Thank you guys so much for joining me. I always have a great time talking with you guys, and we're gonna do this again shortly. I'm actually having a Twitter space again on Friday. And the last one
Okay.
I did last Friday night, we had like 40 people on it. We had like five CEOs from different, tokens. So, we had a lot of, bigger people there. So for a lot of exposure for sure. And it's more just like a roundtable discussion. We just talk about, different
Yeah.
issues and different things and all. But if you guys are free on Friday, it's probably going to be at about 4 Eastern time. I don't know if you guys are working or whatever, but
Okay.
if you guys are free, pop on. I'll send you a link for the Twitter space. We'd love to have you guys talk about, go on and, have some time to promote DeFi Kings.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
man.
for
Yeah, that
sure.
sounds good.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, thank you guys again for joining me. Thank you. You guys didn't shy away from any questions at all. I love it when people do that and just answer, things honestly. And, doing this gets you more exposure than anything, man, because people get to know you as
It does.
people, not just as robots. We're just answering the same bullshit AMA questions every single AMA. People are all going to ask you the same stuff,
Right.
So to actually get to know you guys, that's what a lot of
Yeah,
people want. A lot of people want to get to know who the people actually are, behind the numbers and
that's
behind the
it. I
projects.
mean,
So,
that's one thing, man. We're just average guys, Mike. I mean, just
right,
kind of like you, man. We're average guys. We're investors.
right,
We believe in what we put out to people, and we want to make people money. If we can make it, we want everyone else to make it. That's the goal. So, the more we can do this, and the more we can put back in people's pockets, dude, the better off we are in society in general, and to be able to have people realize dreams, man. If you come in and you invest with us, I mean, we're gonna bust our ass. It's nonstop. I mean, it is nonstop. I'm 10, 12 hours a day at work, and I'm probably easily 6 to 8 hours in the evening and all
yeah,
night.
I know,
Throwing in
man,
crypto stuff.
I know.
But hey, that's
I
what you
don't.
do, man.
I don't get to bed till 3 a.m. most nights myself, man.
Yeah,
I'm fucking
I know.
exhausted. I am
I know. The
exhausted
old
half the
lady
time.
says, "Yeah." My old lady says crypto's my new lover, dude. And I'm like, well, man, if she pays me well, So, what are you gonna do? You got to make time for the love of your life, brother.
I guess so, man. Well, it's great having you, Mike and Chris with DeFi Kings. Check these guys out. They are legit, and they got some huge things planned. Thank you guys so much for joining me again, and hopefully I'll see you guys on Friday night. And you guys are always welcome in my room, and we'll do this whenever you guys want, man.
Appreciate it,
Awesome.
Mike.
Thanks, man.
Thanks a lot, brother.
Appreciate it.
Awesome, guys. Hang on just one sec.